Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. XRP and XLM, very similar coins. I know some of you guys are invested in both of them, and probably for good reason. We know one of the co-founders of OpenCoin, which later became Ripple Labs, was Jed McCaleb. He eventually left Ripple to start Stellar, a non-profit organization, and created XLM, which for all intents and purposes is very similar structurally to XRP. XLM is also one of those WEF coins that is listed in the World Economic Forum's report from back in June of 2021. So, there are many reasons to be paying attention to XLM. Even price structure and performance has been similar to XRP in many ways during previous bull cycles. So guys, I've got XRP up here right now on the chart, and right now it's trading at roughly 32.5 cents. And in the last bull cycle, XRP did rally roughly 1,600%, give or take. And we have now recently seen a correction for XRP down and around 83% since that high from back in 2021. And as you can see here, XRP didn't actually get past its former all-time high in this bull run. Let me just throw a Fibonacci on here. You guys can see XRP almost hit the 0.702, but 1,600% since March of 2020, still a fairly good run. XLM, on the other hand, XLM rallied roughly 2,900%, almost 3,000% in the last bull run, and since this high here, it has now declined. It's now declined roughly 86% as well. So similar in the decline. It did appreciate almost twice as much as XRP though. But note this, guys, if I throw a Fibonacci here on the chart, you can see XLM just touched the 0.786, so it also didn't reach its former all-time high set back in December of 2017, January of 2018, because we know at that point alts did rally a little higher. And so how much are we above this low, this March 2020 low? We are about still 313% up. So even if you bought at the absolute bottom back in March of 2020 and you didn't sell a coin for XLM, you'd still be up on your portfolio about 313%. And if you bought XRP right down here at this low, you would be up roughly 183%, give or take. So, structurally, these charts look very similar. You can see XLM has actually outperformed XRP in this last rally, which, may have XRP hodlers a little upset. I know many in the XRP community also hold XLM. James Rule XRP here posting this community poll. Are Jed McCaleb's taco stand sales of XRP affecting the current price? Because we've got to remember there's also this narrative attached to Jed McCaleb and XRP in the past, and more so just recently. I've talked about how his sales are starting to be depleted and how his taco stand wallet, which is where he holds his XRP, is slowly running dry. And I believe it was Leonidas, he was stating that by July 16th, Jed McCaleb will have drained his entire stash of XRP. And so, the theory goes as such: the XRP community feels like there is a surplus of XRP being flooded into the market, and this is actually affecting price. Don't know if that's entirely true, but what do you guys think? So, James Rule XRP putting up this poll here. Many people saying no. 60.5% of people are saying no, whereas 39.5% are actually saying yes. David Ola down here thinking no, but psychologically maybe. It's almost done, but he seems to be drawing it out longer than necessary as the daily amounts being sold are decreasing. Digital Dirt down here saying people say it doesn't because it's a small portion of the volume. However, most of the volume are day traders and buy and sell, creating volume but not changing the price. He just sells. Him gone will, in fact, make a difference. So there's been this debate in the XRP community, and a lot of us have been looking forward to Jed selling his tokens. And John Deaton here posting this: for those supporting the SEC's claims that XRP, the token itself, is an investment contract with Ripple, and Ripple enriched itself, why would the SEC allow the co-founder to continue to sell XRP since the lawsuit for more than 2 times the amount Ripple unjustly enriched itself? So there are some legal questions here. We know Ripple has been in court with the SEC, and I don't have to go over all that. That has actually spurred on, though, more questions about why Jed McCaleb has been allowed to continue to sell his XRP stash, whereas we have Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson in court being sued, being accused of selling XRP, and in the SEC's eyes, that is a securities breach. Leonidas here tweeting this out the other day, and I talked about this tweet, the fact that Jed will be selling 4.25 million XRP per day this week, and then he will run out, at this rate, he will run out by July the 16th, which is this coming Saturday. It took Jed 8 years, 1 month, and 25 days since announcing his sales to finally get get rid of his 9 billion XRP. So, some people down here wondering about this. Duke Age down here saying, John, while I find today's SEC to be a rogue, conflict-ridden agency that on its best day is not serving the role of orderly capital formation, I do believe their answer to your question will be that Jed has no alleged control over the blockchain, unlike the named individuals. So there's that theory too. On the SEC side, they could argue that, well, Jed McCaleb isn't part of Ripple anymore, so he really doesn't have a say in what they do, and therefore, he was granted this deal by a court from before, and so yeah, he should be still allowed to sell his XRP. John Deaton saying, great answer as to why Jed wasn't sued, but the SEC is claiming today's XRP, the token itself, is an unregistered security, even if not by Ripple. That's why exchanges delisted XRP. My point is, if they believed in this theory, they would have issued a cease and desist to Jed. So we've got some interesting questions getting thrown around, some speculation, some theories here as to why Jed McCaleb wasn't sued. And this is all going somewhere, guys, because there was another clip that was discovered by Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed, which I'm going to get to in a second. First, I'm just going to show you this clip, another one actually posted by Wheezy here. This was from back in March of 2018. Did Jed help push the false narrative about XRP? This is when he was being interviewed on CNBC. And it was if you guys remember, it was at the top of the last altcoin rally back in early of 2018. And he got interviewed in March, so it would have been after we had seen a bit of a correction for the altcoins. Here, let me just get rid of some of that on the chart here, just to show you guys. It would have been in and around this time here. So March, which would bring us in and around here. At this point, XRP would have already corrected by about 75% or so. Conversely, XLM would have corrected about 65% or so, give or take. Jed already, obviously, at this point, had started the Stellar Foundation, and here's what he had to say about Ripple and XRP. So was he part of spreading the FUD, the false narrative about Ripple and XRP? Listen to this.
Founded Ripple, and then you moved on to co-found Stellar because of certain differences in opinion, philosophy differences that you wanted to operate the platform on. So can you tell us what the key differences are between Ripple and Stellar? Because a lot of people think of these two as the preferred platforms for the financial services industry.
Yeah, right. So what we're trying to build at Stellar is an internet-level protocol, and I think it's important that be done by a nonprofit entity. Like if you imagine the internet created by a for-profit company, we would just be in a very different world. And that's essentially what we're trying to do, is make it where payments works, how information works on the internet now, where everything's interoperable, you can send money to anywhere, and so you kind of just need this kind of governance and structure that wasn't really done in Ripple, and kind of beyond that, it's important to have lots and lots of participants in the network, not just a few. So one of the things that we're doing in Stellar is distributing the underlying asset, the underlying coin, like very widely. And I think that that's a kind of a key thing to actually make these things successful.
I mean, one of the interesting things is that one of the just sort of the forces within the crypto community is this notion that things should be decentralized, right? And the case is made that Ripple is a much more centralized sort of platform because it's got and it seeks to partner with some of the biggest financial institutions out there, where Stellar is nonprofit and sees itself as less centralized or decentralized. Tell us why that is an advantage from a user standpoint, or from a bank standpoint, for instance, who wants to operate something on the platform. Why is that an advantage?
Right. I mean, it's less. That's more of a technical consideration. Like technically, the consensus algorithm of Ripple lends itself to. It's very hard to run nodes outside. Like Ripple Labs, so they're running the majority of the nodes, which it should be concerning for people, right? Because it's basically you're ended up with a system that's no better than Swift or PayPal, one of these centralized systems. The real vision here is that you have a network, much like the internet, that anyone can participate in. There's not one central entity that could kind of change, like decide that it's going to start charging, or just
right.
Start to like that should be of utmost concern to people. Like this is the way that this thing can actually grow. And reach ubiquity. Like the only other kind of network we've seen do that is the internet, and it's important that it is open. Like that's the key component and distributed. So.
Doesn't sound like the best interview, I got to admit. Who cares, though? That's Jed McCaleb stating his opinions on this. Clearly, some points I wanted to make here. First of all, the Stellar Foundation, a non-profit organization, I feel like they were doing that for tax purposes personally, but maybe that's just my opinion, being a little cynical. All right, fine. He's saying, though, that we need an organization that is not for profit in order to have this type of decentralization and do it right, kind of like the internet, and he's criticizing Ripple for that. He's also criticizing Ripple, saying that they run most of the nodes, and I mean, in all fairness, at that point in time, March 2018, Ripple was, I think, still running the majority of nodes. Today, that has obviously changed. Ripple does not have control over the XRP ledger. It is a very decentralized ledger, and so that has happened over time. And I think that that was Ripple's plan over time for it to become more decentralized as other organizations were taking up node running responsibility along the way. So what Jed McCaleb was saying here was not necessarily untrue, but slightly misleading, I think I would argue. Okay, so we've got that clip, guys. The crux, though, that I wanted to get to, Satoshi Nakamoto and what his true identity is. Now, Linda P. Jones posted this, retweeting out another tweet here by Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed. And this is a bit of a bombshell. The person speaking in this clip is Rana Soud, Assistant Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations. Does the government know who Satoshi is? And did they meet with them being in quotes multiple people? Let me play you guys this.
We looked at Bitcoin. It was the most prevalent at that point. We had seized quite a bit of it, millions of dollars worth, under the Silk Road investigation. So one of our agents who started looking at another online marketplace through the deep web, which was called Black Market Reloaded, they were sending weapons through packages and ordering them on the dark web. And he was really, really smart, forward-leaning agent. And he goes, I want to go interview Satoshi Nakamoto. And we're like, what? He said, yeah, I want to go interview this guy. And at the time, we're like, hey, it's a figment of somebody's imagination. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not true. So, we had all this pushback from our headquarters. And we thought, hey, if an agent wants to go talk to him and we have some money, why don't we send him? Let's find out how this works. So as it came to be, the agents flew out to California, and they realized that he wasn't alone in creating this. There were 3 other people, and they sat down and met with them and talked to them to find out how this actually works and what their reason for it was.
So wait a minute. The agent went out, met with Satoshi Nakamoto, and realized it wasn't just one person. So they had the meeting, in other words. Realized it wasn't just one person. There were 3 others with him, so 4 people total. And so I guess this means that the CIA, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, whoever, an agency within the government, does actually know Satoshi's true identity. Generation XRP down here saying, I love this vid. Be aware it doesn't have a use. Steve mentioning something about the IP address. California, I thought I read the IP address was somewhere in Arizona. So people are speculating because there have been other stories regarding Satoshi Nakamoto's true identity. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, this was an interesting one. Faith down here bringing this up. The way they could have came up with Satoshi Nakamoto, Samsung, Toshiba, Nakamichi, and Motorola. Well, what do the first few letters in each word represent? Satoshi Nakamoto. An interesting discovery. Now it gets even more interesting though. Bitcoin is more than one man. This was a Ripple Insights blog from back in 2014, and I had a little bit of trouble finding the blog, but eventually I did find it. It got reprinted on Ripple's Insights website since they revamped their website. And this was actually written by none other than Satoshi Nakamoto. The beauty and brilliance of Bitcoin is that it isn't about one man or one company or one centralized authority, he starts off by saying. It's about everyone. Bitcoin is a grand experiment, a testament of what's possible and a glimpse of tomorrow that, in and of itself, by design bigger than any single entity, it's an innovative solution that brings us closer together and is driven by us all and an inspiration for the rest of us to build a smarter world. The essence of math-based currencies lie in the protocol itself, an elegant convergence of cryptography, a peer-to-peer public ledger, and an open-source development that solves the Byzantine general's problem. Suddenly, people can send money online without an intermediary, at least in crypto form, like giving someone cold hard cash, which perhaps, frustratingly and perplexingly, remains no easy feat. The practical consequences of solving this problem is that Bitcoin gives us, for the first time, a way for one internet user to transfer a unique piece of digital property to another internet user, such that the transfer is guaranteed to be safe and secure. Everyone knows that the transfer has taken place, and nobody can challenge the legitimacy of the transfer. This was written by technologist Mark Andreessen in an op-ed for the New York Times. The consequences of this breakthrough are hard to overstate. Andreessen Ventures Fund, by the way, Andreessen Horowitz, is an investor in Ripple Labs. There's only a few more paragraphs down here. I will link this in the description. It's funny, though, how back in 2014, when Ripple was first really kind of starting to take off, get off their feet, that they posted this Insights blog. Of course, you know, the whole idea around cryptocurrency and decentralized money and the transfer of funds has always stemmed from Bitcoin because it has been the granddaddy of cryptos, the one that started it all. XRP 1 may argue is a Bitcoin 2.0. As the experiment has been continuing, cryptographers have realized there is a better way to create a cryptocurrency. And so could this be an overstatement, an understatement perhaps? Bitcoin is a grand experiment. Well, this was allegedly written by Satoshi Nakamoto himself. So this is where it gets more interesting. Where was it? Just down here. This from Disruptive Capital. So if Homeland Security is aware of this, can it also be safe to assume they know who these 4 individuals are? And guys, there's been a lot of speculation about who these people are. The sour man down here saying David Schwartz, author Brito, and 2 more perhaps. I think the same. Don't forget the picture from David Schwartz with Ripple, built by Bitcoiners. Brad Garlinghouse, Jed McCaleb, Chris Larson, David Schwartz equals Satoshi Nakamoto. It's just my opinion. Also, I feel as if Bitcoin was the test for something greater. Mr. SLR stating that. Now, I don't think Brad Garlinghouse or, it could be Chris Larson, but I don't think those 2 are actually implicated. I think Jed McCaleb is a good candidate. David Schwartz, probably. Arthur Brito, most likely as well. Lionel Simpson down here saying Garlinghouse wouldn't be on the list. Arthur Brito would be, though. Garlinghouse came into the picture well after OpenCoin acquired 70% or so of the XRP and became Ripple at a later date. So Brad Garlinghouse, more of the CEO type that they brought in later. David Schwartz, Arthur Brito, and Jed McCaleb, though, 3 very good candidates. Let me continue, guys, because Andrezel also posted this. We got to remind ourselves what David Schwartz patented back in 1988, August 25th, 1988, so the late 80s. This was essentially the blueprint for distributed ledger technology. A multi-level distributed computer system for distributed processing preferably includes a plurality of personal computers. Blech, a lot of P's there. A task inputted to the system is divided into a plurality of portions. As many of the portions as possible are distributed for the processing on the lowest level of the system. Sorry guys, it's really hard to read. Those portions unprocessed on the lowest level are distributed for processing on the next lowest level. Remaining unprocessed portions of the tasks are distributed to available computers on successively higher levels of the system until all of the tasks have been distributed for processing. So this was the blueprint, this was the plan, and David Schwartz did patent this. Actually, the date of the patent was finally 1991, June 18th, 1991, but it was originally filed in August of 1988. Decades before Bitcoin even came out onto the scene. And again, a patent filed by David Schwartz. So it's getting more interesting. I also did a video, I don't know if you guys remember, back in February of 2020, when Tiffany Hayden dropped a bomb about the creator of Bitcoin. It sounded as though she knew who it was. Listen to what I said back then. And I don't know if you remember that video I did a while ago, the conspiracy theory video. If you do not remember, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. It's this icon here, guys, for those of you guys who are browsing my channel. Talks about David Schwartz working for the government, possibly the creator of Bitcoin. Well, you know what? Tiffany Hayden dropped a bomb on Twitter. So Backup Bradley, first of all, puts up this poll, okay? Who is the real Satoshi? And he gives some suggestions. David Schwartz, Craig Wright, who's clearly not Satoshi, the government, or none of the above. So a lot of people pointing towards David Schwartz, some people towards the government, some people towards none of the above. This is quite an equal spread, first of all. 42.4% clearly David Schwartz is the winner, but, the government trailing with 30% and none of the above with 26.9%. Okay. So then, XRP Myrtle Beach posts this screen grab, something Tiffany Hayden said on Twitter. The same people who created Bitcoin also created XRP. Whoa, what? I hope you'll be able to carry on with life, but considering it's been over 7 years and you haven't been able to figure out the difference between a digital asset and a private company, I won't hold my breath. Okay, making a joke about probably a previous comment that we can't see up here. And XRP Myrtle Beach responds, so Joel Katz created Bitcoin? And Tiffany Hayden responds, ask Jed. Well, ask Jed? Are you kidding me? Is there more down here? No, just ask Jed. So, is she saying that the same person who created Bitcoin created XRP? And for those of us who want the real answer, we should ask Jed McCaleb. Yes, one of the co-founders of Ripple. So at that time, Tiffany Hayden did drop a bomb giving us more information, essentially stating that the same people that created Bitcoin did create XRP. Now we're just taking her word for it. There is no real way we can back this up. But it sounds as though that the government at that time did go and interview Satoshi Nakamoto, which I'm putting in quotes here, talk to the 4 people that created Bitcoin. So the government knows the identity. It sounds as though Tiffany Hayden perhaps knows the identity too. And I think, guys, we are on the right track. Also, let's make note of this. Ashley Prosper here on Twitter posting this. If Jed is selling XRP to the Treasury, it would explain a few things. Why the SEC sued Ripple, why they let Jed sell his XRP, why Rosie Rios joined Ripple, why Congress hasn't called for an investigation, why the IG or ethics office won't investigate, and why Jed hasn't been mentioned in the case. Now, Ashley here is being criticized. Some people saying, that's a half-baked theory. So FOMO even down here saying, except it's an open public ledger and you can actually see who has bought the XRP. So some people a little skeptical about this theory. Crypto and Cigars down here saying, instead of replying negatively, explain your thoughts. All the things she pointed out is speculation, but Jed should have been included in the investigation and had seen to be having given a free pass as well as Ether. XRP on the Fed's balance sheet kind of makes sense. Danelle down here saying, I believe Jed has been passed over with Ripple and Mt. Gox as XLM has a huge role to play. We know USDC is going to be the US CBDC and it is on the XLM ledger. Amoni Cryptonaut down here saying it would explain all of those things. They would need to have lots of smaller wallets to cover up such large amounts. The lack of transparency would be no different than Ethereum conspirators. And yes, great points here. I would have to agree. Some interesting points here. Could she have been selling it, or rather, could he have been selling it to the Treasury? It would explain a lot of things, although we would definitely have seen those sales go to a specific wallet, and we would have seen that over the last 4 years, or how many ever years, 5 years, that he's been selling those XRP. So Satoshi's identity firmly linked with the creators of XRP. It's funny, Wheezy down here saying, this video only had 92 views when he linked it, and I'm sure the XRP community has just been clamoring to take a look. The view count has likely gone up. Anders L down here saying, they said Jed was allowed to sell XRP and wasn't included in the lawsuit. Well, you can say the same about Arthur Brito. That's another interesting point. Always think it's weird that with all the research the XRP army does, no one finds anything on Arthur Brito. He's an elusive character, I've got to admit. What else? Down here, nice fine. Attack Titan also had the same theory down here way back last year. People responding down here like TCXRP Satoshi is really Jed. That's why he's never been hit with the lawsuit. Was involved in Mt. Gox as well. So that's the other thing, guys. Is the government protecting guys like Jed McCaleb and Arthur Brito and David Schwartz, for example, and using Brad Garlinghouse and Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson as the scapegoats in this case? I mean, I know Brad and Chris probably aren't too concerned about being sued in court because of this. Well, first of all, they've got lawyers, but secondly, they are likely aware of the positive outcome for Ripple, how XRP is going to be used in the future of finance. I don't think they are scared one bit. But to my point of Jed McCaleb, he was involved in Mt. Gox. There was that whole Mt. Gox debacle, and yet he was left unscathed from that as well. Tim B down here saying definitely plausible, especially when you consider Jed worked for Ripple with Joel Katz, David Schwartz to create XRP, and David Schwartz supposedly helped develop Bitcoin. Was Jed also at Bitcoin before joining Ripple? Well, I would say he was. So it puts a lot of things here into perspective. Is the XRP being sold to the US Treasury? All things that really make you wonder, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.